Alright, so today I'm here to show you what type of fluids you should be using for your Jeep Liberty. Now, if you have any questions as to where you can find this information, it is right here in your handy dandy owner's manual. And first we're going to be looking at the ATF. Now, the information for that is located here on page 286, where it says right here, automatic transmission, and you need Mopar ATF plus 4. Now, Mopar is not like the only manufacturer of ATF plus 4. So that usually means you can go, like, for example, an auto parts store and buy this, which is house brand ATF. In this case, it's Napa. I'm not sponsored by them, but I've used this stuff and it seems to work. So, also, something worthy to note is that the transfer case right here actually uses some ATF plus 4 as well. And now for the differential in the front, you're actually want to be changing it more often than the rear, just because of how the the front differential is working and where it's located. You're going to want to change it more, and you're supposed to use SAE 75-140. In that case, I've been using this, some CarQuest brand full synthetic 75-140, and it seemed to be working great for me. It takes about 1/2 of these, so just make sure you pick up 2. And now for the back, this kind of gets tricky, because if you're towing, you're supposed to use SAE, 75-140, but if you're not, then it's supposed to be 75-90 for, like, just typical daily driving. And if you have the traction locker, like the electronic locker, you're supposed to be adding a friction modifier. And what that basically does is it helps all the pieces in there engage when they need to be engaging, and the other things. So yeah, I'm blanking out right now, but just add that and that will help make sure that works fine. And now for brake fluids, well, fluid I should say, you're supposed to be using .3. It doesn't have to be the like actual Mopar OEM .3. Just any .3 will work, and you can also use .4 because .4 actually has a higher boiling point. It works perfectly fine in a .3 system. However, you can't use .3 in a .4 system. So that's something to, keep in mind. Now for oil, if you're wondering what viscosity you should use, all you gotta do is, in this case, flip to page 251 and you have your viscosity chart right here. And 530 is preferred as it's very good for, usually hotter environments to pretty dang cold environments. So you can use 1030 if you're basically exclusively running in hot environments or towing a lot. I would imagine that 1030 is fine. I've been using 530 in mine for the past 3.5 years. It's never given me a problem. And speaking on the topic of oil, the oil I would recommend, if you can find it, is some of this Shell Rotella Gas Truck 530. It's very good for towing, hauling, general use, and it also does great with getting dirty and long exposure to heat, and overall is actually very good for trailing. And also it's got like a ton of anti-wear additives and cleaners, so overall this is very good oil. Now if you can't find this, which is perfectly fine, you can also use basically any other 530. I've been using Mobil 1 and it seems to have not given me any problems. I know this is not technically the best oil, but however I've been using it, it's not giving me any problems. Basically use whatever you want. I usually recommend synthetic just because that seems to hold up a bit better over time and overall seems to have better performance than, in my opinion at least, than conventional oil. And whether you want to use high mileage or not, that's completely up to you. I was running it for, I believe, a while, and now I'm just running like just standard stuff, and it's been working fine either way. So with that out of the way, also what's going to get very confusing is what coolant to change. Now the owner's manual has something kind of like obscure that like is only found at the dealerships basically. I'm gonna adjust the camera really quick. So what you can use is some of this, and this is Geo5 Xerox by Valvoline. You don't have to use specifically this type, and other brands have different names for it, but what you're gonna wanna use is something like this, which is also, I think, nicknamed like American Gold or something like that. Now, as you can see, it says right here, Ford, Chrysler, Mercedes-Benz, and like some diesel engines. Now, the whole reason I use this is because on the back, let's see if I can get this up to the camera. Come on, focus. Okay, so it says right there, approved for use in Mercedes-Benz 97 to 2016, and in my case, Chrysler, Dodge, and Jeep 2002 to 2012. And now for this stuff, it's basically gonna be used in every single Chrysler vehicle from this time period, so this should be easy to find. And if you can't find the Xerox brand, which is fine, like just ask for something that will work in a Chrysler product from like the mid-2000s. And for chassis grease, basically, let's see, one sec, gonna get the camera adjusted again, sorry about this. Use, what I would recommend is just some of this stuff, which is specifically made for GM, Chrysler, European, Japanese vehicles. Basically what it means is it has all the additives that they add in from the factory. This is just some general multi-purpose grease, it's the red stuff. And if you can't find this, which is fine, just like general use red automotive chassis grease, I think will work perfectly fine. So there is that on fluids and whatnot that you should probably be using for your Jeep Liberty. Hope this helped, and see you guys soon.